Kids aren't kids anymore. They've been deprived of their privilege of actually being children because they're being overconsumed by these square-shaped electronic devices that is taking over their lives. Matter of fact, taking over one of the most prime moments of their lifetime, where they're supposed to be sharpening their motor skills and processing language to shape the way they'll interact with the world.
To be a teacher in today's day and age, you need Messiah level of understanding and patience. And I just don't have it in me. But I don't think there's any reasoning in their mind. They do it just because they can. Because who's disciplining them? Not their parents. Gen Alpha kids have no problem with testing your gangster.
Parents who allow their kids on these devices for extended periods of time may think they're doing their kids a service in the spur of the moment, but unfortunately it seems like our generation is headed the complete opposite direction. For the longest time, Gen Z held the belief that their generation was the epitome of coolness, standing up for what's right, priding themselves on their ability to stand their ground on social media and address issues that are important to them. They know how to speak out. But what if I told you about Gen Alpha, the generation following us, proving to be even more sarcastic and sassy than any other generation? And I think sassy is an understatement in this context, because we're going to be talking about how teachers are quitting their jobs because of Gen Alpha's behavior. With the rise of iPad kids, people are not turning a blind eye to the whole topic of kids having zero attention span nowadays and having absolutely no respect or mannerisms for adults because they're so preoccupied with these devices that they pretty much just forgot how to operate in the real world. And now people are like, what is going on to this new generation that seems to be taking over in a horrific way? And this raises the question of what the future of future generations is going to be like. Forbes recently ran a piece on the correlation of screen time linked to development delays in these children, and they said a study published in the Journal of Pediatrics last month found an association between screen time at 1 year of age and a higher risk of delay in communication, fine motor skills, problem solving, and personal/social skills at age 2. The researchers also found an association between screen time at age 1 and developmental delay at age 4 in communication and problem solving. Although the researchers have not established a causal relationship, the findings are important for parents to consider as they begin exposing their young children to screens. And I completely agree. This whole gentle parenting ordeal has completely gotten out of hand. Now, children acquire language skills when they receive encouragement to communicate verbally by their parents. However, when they're in a situation where they're spending an exorbitant amount of time in front of their screens, they're missing out on the opportunities to even practice speaking. But with modern-day parents thinking that gentle parenting is taking the high road in circumstances like this, the whole situation doesn't seem to be getting any better. In fact, far worse, and we're seeing the consequences of, quote, gentle parenting in real time, with teachers being fed up with the way Gen Alpha kids are behaving in academic environments, like classrooms. And if you thought this wasn't as serious, well, this has even led to teachers all over TikTok flat out crying, expressing their frustration with having to deal with all these fussy kids who have no discipline because their parents are too lazy to teach them right from wrong, and think that taking the easy route and just handing their kids an iPad is the solution. And guess what? Some teachers have even come out and said that this has led them to quitting their jobs. People are quitting their careers because of this. I'm not making this up.
Teachers of all ages are quitting their job because of the behavior of Gen Alpha students. And they are citing that exact reason for the decision of them leaving the profession. So many people want to disparage the individual teacher for making that decision, saying that it's their age or it's the era in which they began their career, where they just can't handle this new generation of kids anymore. A few videos back, I discussed how Gen Z teachers and younger teachers that have just entered the profession are seeing some of these behaviors and they're alarmed, and a lot of them are calling it quits after a few years, realizing this is not what they want to do and put up with for the rest of their life. And I see so many people trying to say, well, they're just young and immature and they just don't know what this is all about, and if they can't handle the profession, it's good they get out now because they don't deserve the title of teacher and they need to let somebody else step in and do the job for them. When in reality, we have teachers like this person's mother who have been in the game for several decades, who knew exactly what they were getting into at the start, who had no issues up to this point. But now that they have Gen Alpha students in their classroom, they are more than willing to give up their retirement, give up their retirement pay, just so that they can escape the chaos that your children are bringing into the classroom.
My daughter is 7. No iPad, no tablet, no gaming system, nada. Her creativeness is off the charts. It's amazing. The indoor playground I take my daughter to being the only parent engaging with kids. Everyone else is on a screen. We do not have to be entertained 24/7, kids or adults. I have to tell my own husband to put the damn phone away and pay attention. So the consequences of not disciplining children and teaching them respect has led to a crisis of kids worldwide having extreme social issues and little to absolutely no mannerisms. And now all over TikTok, millennial and Gen Z educators are raising concerns about the defiant and aggressive conduct exhibited by Gen Alpha, or the iPad kids. Along with the importance of social interaction on the development of motor, communication, and social skills, using tablets to handle discomfort the way so many parents do when their kids get fussy also has negative impacts on a child's mental health development as well. Saliently, I think we can all agree majority of this stems from a parenting issue rather than a technological issue. Parents need to start being more mindful of moderating their kids' usage with all these devices because their future could be set up for failure if the behavior of these kids are subserviently kept feral and untamed. There has been a rising topic of conversation regarding how other factors like the pandemic may have contributed to the rise of tech, since everyone was just left to be isolated at their homes. But even in this scenario, people are saying that discipline should still remain intact, and it plays a huge role, and we're clearly seeing it does from these teachers speaking out on TikTok.
I'm experiencing something that is really getting on my last damn nerves. So basically, I'm a teacher, I do supply work, I work in various different schools. I've been teaching for like 10 years. I've been in the game for 10 years, and before that I was a teaching assistant, so I've been in it even longer than 10 years. One thing that I'm noticing, this generation Alpha, bloody hell, they are a piece of work. And I'm seeing some teachers in America saying this, but so I work in year 2, and oh my God, I feel victimized by some of these 6 and 7 year olds. Like, they don't listen, they're violent as hell. Their academic abilities are so much lower than I've seen in my previous teaching years. They're helpless. You ask a question, they're just staring at you. They still can't form their letters. Like before, in a class of 30, you might have had maybe 5 or 6 students that, you know, needed support to access the curriculum. Now it's like the other way around. You have 5 or 6 students that can access the curriculum, and then the rest of the class really struggles. It is bizarre. I don't know how we're raising them or what on earth is going on, but they can't manage their emotions. They're throwing tantrums left, right, and center. They hide under tables, they storm out, they don't listen to instructions. You tell them something and they just mock you and repeat after you what you've just said. They don't be quiet. It is stressful as hell. Like, it makes you contemplate walking out of the profession.
Anyways, guys, I definitely want to know your take on this whole fiasco with Gen Alpha and their behavior only getting worse day in and day out. What do you think also about how teachers are feeling about dealing with all this and even going as far as to quitting their careers? Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I love you guys so much, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.